On this mission trip, we're going to take you to the city of Chennai in South India. Then from there we'll be taking an all-night train to the town of Nazareth, located in the southeastern tip of India.
I haven't ridden the trains in India for probably about 10 years. We always drive where we're going. So we decided we'll take a train trip down to southern tip, east tip of India to see the orphanage. I've been riding the trains for almost 24 years in India. I don't think these trains have changed at all. I think this is probably the same ones we used like about 24 years ago. Riding on the trains have some interesting features, like using the bathroom. You have to go to the bathroom, this is where you go. Check it out. Yeah, this kind of, it's just a hole that goes down onto the railroad tracks. These trains aren't very clean. The trains are a little bit crowded, but this is where you sleep for the night. They have all these different beds. They fold up so they're like chairs, but then when everybody gets tired, they unlink them, and this is where you sleep. Excuse me. I have a feeling it's going to be a long night.
Automatic.
Long train ride last night. I think we spent 14 hours on this train. Bouncing all over the place.
Traveling with my wife, Christy, and I are Pastor Johnson and his wife, Ruby, plus Pastor Shadrach Samuel. I found it strange that there is a town called Nazareth in India. This man must have been a parking lot employee?
A little bit crowded, just a little bit, not too bad. We got only a 5-minute taxi ride here, so it's not too bad. This is the 100-year church over here, and I think we'll be staying right here for the night, maybe for the weekend.
We were all amazed that this family, who were gone on vacation, allowed us to stay in their beautiful home for a few days. This house had to be over 100 years old and was built like a fortress.
In our last television program on India called The Legacy Continues, we shared with you about this Adventist church. It's the oldest Adventist church in South India. On the same campus is a large Adventist church school, and this is where the orphan kids are going to school. They have a chance to receive a quality education here.
It was early in the morning when we were there. Some of the students were cleaning the campus before all the children arrived for classes. This school is large and dates back decades. We're so happy our orphanage is nearby.
This little van was donated to the ministry here probably about 9-10 months ago, and they use it for shuttling the children back and forth. Really a blessing. These people came from America and they're Indian, and they saw the need here and they helped us out with this.
We headed out to see the orphanage, which was about a 20-minute drive from the school.
One year ago, we produced a television program about this building that was donated to Laymen Ministries and how we wanted to start an orphanage here. Well, the orphanage is up and running. We've added on some additions to the building to be able to comply with the government. And we'd like to share with you about what's happened with this exciting project with the orphanage here in India.
These were the buildings as we received them 1 year ago. In the front is a small church, and the rest was used as a community center. We added a second story to comply with the government to make the needed space for running an orphanage. The government officials are praising us for our standards. Our director, Moses Samuel, grew up in an orphanage. Here's a little bit of his story.
Some Christian people, they came to our village to collect people, students, for their home, for their newly started orphanage. So I also had an opportunity to join that orphanage home, and that is how I was brought up. And when I was growing in that home, I was taught about Jesus Christ, His love, His dedication, His sacrifice. And so in that my childhood age itself, I had developed an idea to serve the poor when I grew up. So I have been doing this service. I have been doing this service for about 25 years.
After school was dismissed that afternoon, the students returned back to the orphanage. Prayer is made a center part of their lives. We were excited about meeting the children, and we found out they were excited about meeting us. But before we could get to know each other, they had responsibilities. They have to put their backpacks away and prepare for their afternoon chores.
What's your name?
Santos.
Sí, Santo.
Each child has a locker, tub, or bag to hold their personal belongings. They are taught orderliness, cleanliness, and to keep their things well organized and their clothes folded. Right now they have to change from their school uniforms into something more casual. These boys had laundry hanging on top of the main building. Before their afternoon chores, they were given a snack. We have a nice clean kitchen to provide nutritious meals. Ruby, Pastor Johnson's wife, shares some special healthy treats with the boys. After their snack, they all have their designated responsibilities. Work is essential to learning good ethics. We were told a number of orphanages in South India were recently closed down due to poor hygiene, uncleanly conditions, and even abuse. The government officials told us how our facility was one of the nicest they had seen, and that we were doing things the right way. Agriculture is a big part of our plan. We had one donor give money specifically for trees, shrubs, and flowers. He said he wanted the kids to have a little taste of Eden at our facility. All of those items are now planted. We are also preparing to grow a lot of our own food. We find the children are happiest when they have responsibilities. Our director, Moses Samuel, shared with us the orphanage's meticulous bookkeeping and how every rupee is accounted for. He told us government agencies watch very closely the financial operations of orphanages. He showed us the various licenses we had to obtain from different departments of the government. Besides running the orphanage, we have community outreach programs, such as tailoring courses for the poor women in the local villages and computer classes for the youth. These courses are held at various times of the year and draw a lot of people to our project. Sabbath is a high time for the kids as they get to lead out in worship services. Every Sabbath, adults and children from local villages come here to worship God. We have an interesting mixture of people, some Adventist, some of other Christian faiths, and even some are Hindu.
And his wife with us. And we also have the children will sing a special number.
The Sabbath school class is full of young children. Sabbath is a special time for all involved.
Prince Rajkumar is his name.
Have three of the boys that are staying here at the orphanage, and we're going to go visit a village where the mothers of these boys live. And one of the boys here is named Santoth, and Santoth's mother is living in a village right now. Kind of an interesting story, but we wanted to just kind of give you an idea where some of the children have come from that are going to the orphanage here. So we're going to head out right now and try to find his mother if we can do that. Okay? You ready? We're ready. This is supposed to be the village. You ready to get out? Are you? And we're going to try to find Santosh's mother. She had to actually flee from the village she was in, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And she ended up moving to this area. And these two boys are from this village right here, and Santosh's mother's in this village now too. When pastor's trying to get in touch with where the mother's at. But as I've read the history of each one of the children, it's really heartbreaking. Each one of them has a story of their own. Some of the parents have HIV. One parent is illiterate and sick, and the other parent is dead. And with Santosh here, his dad was a professional coconut tree climber, and he was climbing up in a coconut tree and fell out of the tree and landed on some power lines, and he was electrocuted and killed. And the sad thing was is that when the news got back to the village where his father was from, that his mother and the children had to flee from the village because the villagers were going to ransack the house and take all their personal possessions because the father was dead. So she had to flee from the area. It turned out what ended up happening is his mother got in touch with an Adventist pastor somehow, and they found out about our orphanage, and he became eligible to actually come here and go to our school. So he's going to have an opportunity, all these children are going to have an opportunity to be able to have a much better life because they're going to be able to have an education, and they're going to have somebody who cares for them, takes care of them, and there's a lot of really hopeless situations here in India, and their stories are just a fraction of the kind of stories that happen in some of these remote village areas. So let's go see if we can find your mom, huh? This is where your mother's been living here? Santosh just found his mom, pastor's bringing her, and he hasn't seen her for a while. Unfortunately, the mother's illiterate. That's really common in a lot of these villages. Some of the students, when they came to the orphanage, they were illiterate too, and already they're starting to learn how to speak, not only how to read and write in Tamil, but they're speaking some English. So this is his mom. Get a chance to meet her. Whoa, how are you? Nice to meet you. This is your boy, huh? Yeah. Are you happy that Santosh is going to our school?
இந்த பையன் வந்து எங்க பள்ளிக்கூடத்துல படிக்கிறது உங்களுக்கு சந்தோஷமான்னு கேக்குறேன்.
எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்.
She says she's very happy.
Oh, good.
ரொம்ப நல்லது.
So, where are you living now?
நீங்க எங்க இருக்கீங்க?
நான் இங்க தான் இருக்கேன்.
Okay. You want to go to your house? Yeah. Okay.
As I told you.
Oh,
no?
yeah.
It's like that.
Just rented a house,
And how old are your sisters, Santosh? How old are your sisters?
உங்க அக்காவுக்கு என்ன வயசு ரெண்டு பேருக்கும்?
11 வயசுல அடிச்சேன்.
11 years, very good.
11. Are they twins?
அடுத்தது
அடுத்தது 7 வயசு.
7 and இது இவனுக்கு தங்கச்சி அவனுக்கு பாக்குறாரு.
என்ன வந்துட்டாரு?
Are they here?
Let's go back. Your sister?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jeff. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
How are you? I'm fine. My sister.
Your sister, huh? That's pretty good that you got to see your sister.
Did you meet his little sister?
This is the little sister here? You're the little sister? I'm Jeff. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, very nice.
Nice to meet you. A lot of these houses belong to people that have more money that are working in Chennai, and so she's caretaking this house right now. And this is not her house. And a lot of these other houses belong to people who apparently go up to the bigger cities and get employment. So it opens up opportunities for people that don't have much money to be able to caretake and have rent for really cheap. So, Hi, I like your flowers. So let's have a word of prayer. And then are we gonna try to find the other boys' mothers?
Yeah.
Okay. Pastor, would you like to pray, or do you want me to pray? Okay.
You pray.
Okay, I'll pray. I'd be happy to. Father in heaven, Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here. And to Next, we're trying to locate the mother of A.J. Raja, who is 10 years old. Some of these children are what we call semi-orphans. They have lost a father
and the mother is not able to care for the child, or in some cases, both parents, while living, are not able to care for the child.
I'm trying to find the other boy's mom. They're saying that she lives somewhere in this area. This area is pretty interesting. There's a lot of churches all over, the old colonial style churches, because the Scottish and British missions back in the 1800s or early 1900s tried to Christianize this area. So there's quite a number of different Christian Tamil people in this area. And then you'll drive down the highway, you'll come to an area where there'll be like an enclave of Muslims, and then another area will be Hindus. See if we can find this boy's mom. The story of this boy's mother and father that we're finding right now.
Father died of AIDS,
Uh-huh.
HIV positive. He was died at 28 years old, and the mother is there. She's working for a pharmaceutical shop, and she doesn't have any house. She's living with her mother. Only one boy.
And the boy's name is?
Ajay Raja.
Ajay's mother. Okay. Were you able to get in touch with her?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's coming?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's coming.
Yeah, the boy's father died from HIV, and so the mother now is living with her mother and can barely provide for herself, let alone provide for taking care of the kids. She came. Hi. Are you AJ's mom?
This is
You can get kind of an idea of where they live here.
this is a rented house for the mother of Ajay's mother. That is Ajay's grandma.
And so she's living with her mother.
Okay, for protection. She's a lady, single lady. Husband died, so she cannot live alone. So she is living with the mother.
Does she have other children?
No,
Just
only one.
Only AJ. And the father died of AIDS.
Yeah. Before he went to the home, he was an indisciplined boy.
What
And
was he
truant.
doing?
He was going street by street.
Just kind of running around and
Yeah, he was running, and by cycle he used to go around the streets and making bad friends, using abusive words. And he says he was using abusive words, bad words, filthy words. He says. And now he is okay, he is very good now. And he is obeying the mother. Earlier they say
அங்க கொண்டு விட்டுட்டு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும் எப்படின்னா ரொம்ப எடக்கு பண்ணுவான் எப்படி இருப்பானோ தெரியல
she says that she didn't believe that this boy will become like this.
She says when he was 1 year old, his father died. Her husband died.
And AJ had a problem where he had to have a tracheotomy done on his throat.
4 years. When he was 4 years old, he has.
Had the tracheotomy.
Yeah.
And it's
ஓகே
Now he's.
வளர இனி அடைச்சிரும்
Now when he grow, everything. The doctor said when he grow, everything will be all right.
so it's slowly healing up here. Yeah.
Slowly.
Still small hole. Yeah. So that's why he has a bandage on his neck right here, is because he had a tracheotomy done. And AJ is a really good thumb wrestler. Watch this. Shake hands. Go to your corner. Okay, go. Come on, let's do it. Oh, got me. So now we're going to try to find his mother?
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
have prayer.
Okay.
Ma'am, you can.
Dear Father in heaven,
Brendan. Okay. It's nice meeting you, ma'am. Yeah. God bless you. We were now going to visit the parents of Jaggeeth. The father has polio, and the mother recently had open heart surgery. Nice to meet you. This family had no idea we were coming, and I'm sure they were wondering what this visit was about.
I found out that the only income this family has comes from the raising of poultry.
No.
It was explained to the family that we were there to better understand the circumstances as to why the children are in our orphanage.
So, was it a difficult choice to have him come to the boys' home?
Pastor Johnson translates for us and explains the circumstances of this family. We have a strict examination process on what children qualify to attend our orphanage.
Hi, Pastor Johnson, you get to say prayer.
There we go. See, this little guy knows how to hug.
She wants to give a hand. Oh, I'm sorry.
When I look at the life of the boys that are here at this orphanage, I often wonder what would be the future for them if it wasn't for the fact that we're giving them the opportunity for a place to live and a good Christian education. Moses, who is our director here, actually grew up in an orphanage, and one of his best friends from that orphanage is our graphic designer today, doing the design for the Amazing Facts Bible lessons and a lot of the books and things that we published. What we'd really like to do is move the existing kitchen that's downstairs to the upper floor by adding on to it, and then we could put a proper cafeteria and kitchen on the upper story. That way we could use the space in the lower part for a girls' dormitory. Next year we really hope that we can report to you that we have 16 young boys and girls here having a stable home environment and providing a Christian education for them. If you'd like to get involved, you'd like to help sponsor a student for 1 year or 6 months or even a month, contact our ministry and we'll tell you about a program that we're putting in place to be able to explain exactly the cost that it takes for them to be here, to be housed, and to provide for their education. Thank you so much for your prayers and support. The project's here at Laymen Ministries.